Guys, today we've got a ridiculous amount of Travis Scott sneakers coming soon. What might become one of the most popular sneakers of 2024. You're not gonna believe this, but Yeezy is back with Nike. Welcome to Sneaky Sundays, guys. We have a mind-blowing episode today, so let's strap in and get through this. Now, along with the insane upcoming stuff, we've got a heap of releases that happen, so of course we gotta run through a release recap, and let's kick it off with the freaking duck boots. As wild and crazy as these things are, of course they sold out instantly. Let me know if you went for these or picked them up. The Air Jordan 1 Low OG Shadow drop on the 11th, and I actually got these things for under retail. If you want to check them out, check out yesterday's video. It's a solid pair, and the fact that you can get them for this price is insane. Bad Bunny and Adidas Last Campus sneaker also dropped. This is one that I passed on because I have the sale colorway, but if you don't have this sneaker, solid option to go for. You guys out in the US also had a shock drop of both black and white colorways of the CPFM AF1. Let me know if you picked up either of these. And then we had the Travis Scott releases. So there was two that dropped. We had the University Red colorway. This was a raffle, and there's a lot of rumors that these things were heavily backdoored because hardly anybody actually managed to win the raffle. Surprisingly, the sale colorway also dropped again on the Travis Scott website. Let me know if you managed to get either of these, and we'll talk about the rest of the Travis Scott news in a minute because there's a bunch to get through. But let's get into this upcoming stuff, and we're going to kick it off with a raffle that is currently open for the Futura Laboratories Nike SB Dunk Low. So this is the Futura website release. They've got an EQL raffle live now. There's 3 days left on the thing, so you can go and enter it. I'm not entirely sure if this is US only or not, but it's definitely worth having a look and trying to enter the raffle if you are somewhere that's not the US. And if you take an L, there is still going to be a Nike Sneakers app release, which should be global, and that's going to take place on May the 22nd. Now, important to note here, these things are very limited. I think the stock rumor is about 30,000 pairs globally, so it is going to be a tough pair of shoes to get, but it's definitely a pair that a lot of people are after, so just wanted to give you the heads up on all of that. Let's keep it moving. Some Jordan 4 news, an update from I think what we spoke about last week, maybe the week before, but this pair of Jordan 4s, we knew that it was an SP, meaning special project. Turns out it's a collaboration with Nigel Sylvester. Now, the colorway for this pair of shoes is going to be that firewood orange like we spoke about last week. However, because this is a Nigel Sylvester collaboration, that's going to have that detail on the back, which is Bike Air instead of Nike Air. That's a nice little twist. I do like the look of it as well. It's something that we've never seen before, so I'm pretty excited if it does turn out like this. Now, again, the images that you're looking at are just a speculative mock-up based on the color code, but I think we can expect some vibrant firewood orange colors on this sneaker. Now, release date for these things is just spring 2025. Definitely an interesting one, and I'm looking forward to seeing these things. Sticking with the Jordan 4s, we've got detailed looks of the Air Jordan 4 Oxidized Green, which has actually got a lot more people interested than I initially thought that they would. We've got like full retail packaging and everything, but you do have some more premium elements like the leather strap instead of the plastic. I think these things are nice, and I think they're going to look pretty good when you actually start wearing them. They get, you know, some marks and scuffs on them. They just look a little bit worn in. I think it would fit with this colorway really well. Now, as for a release date, we've got July the 13th stamped in here, so that's when you can expect them. But yeah, full family size run, solid pair to grab if you do need another pair of Jordan 4s. All right, we've got a few more updates on the highly anticipated Verdi Nike SB Dunk collaboration that's happening pretty soon now. So we've got some on-foot shots of what these things look like wearing them. Very colorful, very crazy. I'm pretty sure we took a look at this a while ago. The main new update is the fact that we're going to be getting 2 different colorways as part of this collaboration. Now, the sad thing about this is that this black and white one is going to be friends and family exclusive, so there's going to be next to 0 pairs that are going to release. But at the end of the day, I mean, we've got so many different black and white colorways of like Jordans, Dunks, and stuff like that, so I feel like, you know what, this one, this super colorful one, even if it's something that I personally wouldn't be wearing on a regular basis at all, I think it's cool that it's just something different, and I think people are interested in this one anyway. As of right now, we do not have a release date for this, but I would probably anticipate within the next couple months. Here's an interesting one. So last week we spoke about how there's potentially going to be a Jordan 1 Supreme sneaker dropping this year in 2024, and we just got some news that next year, spring 2025, we should be getting a Supreme Nike Air Max 1 collection. Now, the mock-up here is looking relatively rough. I don't think I would wear these with just the Supreme text plastered on the red. It seems very lazy, but that's obviously not what this looks like. Like, we don't know what it looks like as of right right now. Now, there is supposed to be a bunch of different colorways as part of this collaboration, not just this red one. I think they would do at least 4 different versions. So in line with Supreme, you could probably imagine what these colorways look like probably a Volt green, a blue, a red, and maybe a black or something like that. Sticking with Air Maxes, this is a pretty interesting one. Now, these are not going to be releasing, so just keep that in mind, but Nike and Apple collaborated, which is pretty wild. So this is the pair of shoes right over here. It's a one-of-one Air Max 86s that were made for Tim Cook when he did the announcement of the brand new Apple iPad Pro. There's a few cool details like the sketching that's around the Nike swoosh. That is obviously for the Apple Pencil, which they also unveiled a new similar version. The clear giveaway is the made on iPad kind of writing that's on the Nike tongue, which is pretty cool as well. Again, this is just a one-of-one. I wonder if we'll ever see these things like going for sale somewhere, if Tim decides to just throw them up on freaking, you know, Grailed or some kind of auction website. It'd be interesting to see if these do sell for a ton of money. Quick little release reminder and some updates on the J Balvin Air Jordan 3 Rio. So we now have official images and they are lined up to drop May the 22nd, which is pretty crazy because now we're going to be getting the Futura Dunks and this pair of shoes on the same day. That is pretty wild. Nevertheless, I think they're both going to be extremely limited. I heard these things are very, very limited as well, so that kind of falls in line with probably what we were expecting. They're pretty much identical to the sale pair, just now with a different material, and of course they are black instead of sale. In the same box, you've got some extra laces as well. It's a solid pair of shoes. I'm definitely going to be trying my luck, but who knows. Oh yeah, and they also retail for $250, don't forget that. Man, Saleh Benberry doing everything but dropping his freaking upcoming Crocs sneaker. So we've got a new colorway now. This is the Saleh Benberry Realtree Camo colorway, which surprisingly, I like more than I thought I would. I don't know how much wear these things would get, but I think this colorway is probably my favorite out of the ones that we've seen, which I think so far is, this makes it 3 different colorways that are supposed to be dropping. This one has a gum outsole, which looks incredibly large in this colorway. Like, this outsole is just spilling up onto the upper. It kind of looks like you just stepped into something. And I just wish that they dropped these things ASAP because I'm looking forward to trying my luck and just seeing what these things are all about. As of right now, we've got no specific release date for this sneaker's debut, so I'll keep you guys updated. Sticking with the nature theme, we've got Jack Harlow's first collaboration with New Balance, or his first sneaker. He signed with them ages ago, but now he's finally getting a 1906R floral. This was a little bit unexpected. I don't know, maybe I'm just not that into Jack Harlow and don't really know too much about his aesthetic. This is a pretty out there pair of shoes, to say the least. So we've got velvet pink all over the tongue. We've got a bunch of pink all over here, and then grandma's couch for the rest of it. I'm not saying it's bad. I think the colors fit together pretty nice, but it's definitely a pair of shoes that I probably won't be wearing myself. I just don't think I could pull these things off. They do have a drawing on the insole, which looks pretty damn good. Like, that's really, really nice. A really nice detail. So these should be coming very, very soon. I'd love to know your guys' thoughts on these. What do you think? Would you go for them? Do you reckon you can rock them? But yeah, if we get any more updates, I will let you guys know. Huge update on what looks like it's probably going to be one of the most popular sneakers dropping this year, although given where Jordan 1s are at the moment in terms of hype, we don't know. These could be like sitting on shelves and going for retail. This is the Air Jordan 1 Low OG Mocha, and we actually have some official images of these things now, and of course a release date. And something that we couldn't decipher from the early images was how literally these things are like one-to-one Jordan 1 Mocha, just low cut. They have the sail leather all over the upper. They've got the same shade, the same material of suede around the back of that mocha, that dark brown. These are looking very, very nice. I'm not going to be surprised at all if a decent amount of people prefer the lows to the highs. But again, those highs dropped like 4 years ago, so is the hype still there? Do people still want this pair of shoes? Either way, we do have a release date for these things. It is August the 21st, and they're going to be dropping for $140, and it's going to be a massive GR, I would imagine. So worldwide drop, probably full family size run as well. Even though Jordan Brand and Nike have given you a million different Mocha variants that you could have purchased instead of the Mochas, you now have the actual thing, but just in a low top version. Let me know what you think of these, and are you still hyped for them, and how do you see this release going down? Sticking with Jordan 1s though, we've got a massive update. We can actually see what the Air Jordan 1 High OG Black Toe Reimagined imagine that it's dropping this year what it looks like. Terrible way of framing that sentence, but yeah, these are all the mock-ups, but we actually have some images of these things, and there's a nice little hidden detail that we didn't know was going to be present on this pair of shoes, and that is this little text right over here. So I can't really read what this says, but if we move up in this article, it says that there's an inscription on the side, and it says that one pair, the left pair, says my very best Michael Jordan with MJ's signature, and then the right shoe carries a heartfelt message, my very best to brother, love always, Michael Jordan #23. Now, along with these images, we've also got some on-foot shots already, which is crazy. Obviously, the main thing people are going to be looking out for this pair of shoes is that Air Jordan text in replacement of the Wings logo, which is definitely a big change. I know that the text is throwing a lot of people off, but damn, I'm picking these things up for sure. So they're going to retail at $180 and they're dropping October the 18th. Let me know what you think about this pair, and is that text really bothering you, or are you still going to be going for these? A pair of shoes that honestly I completely forgot even were going to be dropping this year. It's the Union LA Nike Field General, but it's resurfaced because they're going to be releasing pretty soon, spring 2024. We don't have an exact release date, but we can definitely imagine that that's going to be happening very soon. So this is them over here. Definitely an interesting looking pair. Obviously with Union, you're getting a ton of special details and packaging. You've got a little hang tag over here, which is nice. These look like they are official images over here, so you can take a look at this. Is the black colorway. It'll be interesting to see how people react to them. Pretty wild one. We've got a Puma Skepta collaboration happening very, very soon. This is the sneaker right over here, which honestly looks pretty dope. It's definitely a unique shape in terms of the actual sneaker. And then of course they slapped this iridescent material all over it, so when you hit it with the flash, it just lights up. So this is them without the flash, a lot more toned down, which is a cool touch. They should be dropping on May the 18th, and that's just in Europe. They're going to retail for 200 euros, which is pretty ridiculous for a Puma shoe. 200 euros, that's probably going to be like $200 at least, probably more. So it's not a cheap pair by any means. I'm just hoping that the quality stands up because it looks like a very simple shoe. Basically just mesh and then some kind of, you know, synthetic leather overlays. Very small update on this one, but we're going to be getting a Nike Kobe 6 Protro All-Star sneaker, a new one. This is the 2.0 version that's going to be dropping spring 2025. Obviously, that's a super long ways away, and we don't actually have too much information, but we know it's going to be a spring release, and then we know that the general colorway is going to be based on this mock-up over here. So this is not exactly how it's going to look, but it's a light khaki, sail, gum, and alabaster and black. Spring 2025, $190. That's the color code. This is what we can expect. Let's keep it moving. All right, let's get into this Travis Scott news because we've got a huge update with a ton more sneakers. So I'm just going to go through all of the updates and then we'll talk about the whole Yeezy situation. We've got a new colorway of the Jumpman Jacks coming soon. So this is them, or this is not actually them, but this is a mock-up of what they could look like. Now, I don't think that this mock-up is accurate because it's pretty much just the same as the sale colorway, but just has, you know, black instead of brown. This is more than likely what's actually going to be dropping this pair right over here. So this has a lot more detail to it. It's basically sail all over the upper, but then it has like a blue-ish sock liner, and then that Volt color for the outsole, basically. However, we don't have a good look at these things. The update on this is that they're now going to be called the Bright Cactus, and they're going to be dropping early 2025. We've got some brand new images of the sail colorway of the Travis Scott Nike Sharkadon, which should be dropping this year. Very, very interesting model. I don't know how popular they're going to be. These hardly look like Travis Scott shoes, if I'm honest. They don't have the reverse swoosh, and especially in this sail colorway, like look at the Travis Scott thing on the back. It's like non-existent. These fall under the same Cactus Corporation branding that we saw with like the trainers and the Air Max 1s. These are supposed to be dropping in 2024, but we don't have a specific release date. Now, some of that Jordan news, got a new colorway, yet another one of the Travis Scott Air Jordan 1. This one's called Velvet Brown. So this is lining up for a spring 2025 release, even though this colorway looks a lot more fall ready. Now, this is obviously a speculative mock-up of what they could look like, which honestly is very similar to the original one. The main thing is that we are going to be getting this in full family size run. It's going to be a, you know, big Jordan 1 release. There's a ton of them now. Speaking of, we're also going to be getting the Pale Vanilla colorway. This is another spring 2025 release, and this is a mock-up of what they could look like, which should be pretty accurate because we kind of got these leaked or teased by Travis Scott with this on-foot shot. So obviously this is a modified version, so obviously they have like the cleats on the bottom, but this is pretty much it. This is what they should look like, which is not bad. I think this is going to do very, very well. People are going to love this colorway. Oh yeah, and then we also have another Jumpman Jack colorway, which should be coming very, very soon. So this update is basically we have some better shots. This is going to be dropping October 2024. This is the dark mocha colorway, looking very, very nice in my opinion. They're all over brown. They've got the black Nike swoosh. This is one that we'll talk about in a minute, but Yeezy was wearing. Ye himself was wearing this colorway. And that brings us to our final story for today, which is pretty insane. So Yeezy and Nike. This has kind of been going on for a very long time where, you know, Ye was wearing a lot of Nike shoes. He was wearing like Air Forces. And this got a lot of people speculating like surely he wouldn't be just wearing those randomly, like this is thought out. Usually he wears shoes that he ends up having some kind of release of. And it got a lot of people speculating, you know, is he going back to Nike? Well, it turns out he technically already did, because the other day he was in a Travis Scott commercial for his upcoming Jumpman Jack sneaker. So in this commercial, Ye is wearing the University Red colorway of the Jumpman Jacks, and then he wore the dark mocha one. These are just two pictures. The actual commercial was basically just a video of Ye, like his face, like up close. And when I first saw this, I was like, holy hell, are we just about to get a new sneaker? Are we about to get a new clothing line with Travis Scott and Yeezy? This is not something that just happens. Like, you gotta remember who Nike is. The company that hands out lawsuits like that, company that manages their PR so freaking well, they wouldn't just allow this to happen unless they specifically decided we want Ye in the Travis Scott ad. Even though this could just be something where, you know, they're gonna do some collab album, or maybe they just wanted him for the ad and maybe we won't see anything else from this. But it seems like there's just too many things now that are kind of stacking up against each other. Him wearing Nikes, the fact that he left Adidas, there could be some kind of Yeezy collaboration in the future. Or at the very least, we could just see some of the old Yeezy stuff coming back, like the Air Yeezy 1s or the 2s. Now, of course, when this happened, I had a ton of you guys sending me screenshots of like people's stories basically saying that Ye is back with Nike, but I didn't want to pull any of that up because I don't know how credible it is. It would be very strange if this happened. It was something that I could not imagine happening. He just went through some crazy stuff to get out of the Adidas contract. He's finally an independent owner of his Yeezy brand. Why would he go back to Nike? But I mean, listen, who knows? It's Ye. We can expect the unexpected. We're not entirely sure, but at the end of the day, I would love to know what you guys think of all of this. Is this just too crazy? Is this definitely not happening? Or do you think we'll see a Yeezy Nike collaboration in the near future? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. And guys, we do this every single Sunday, so make sure you subscribe to the channel. That way I can keep you updated on all the latest sneaker news, sneaker releases, and everything that's going on in the sneaker world.